Hi everyone. When it comes to using a brush pen, of course, you know, I do calligraphy, so my letters are script, my words are script, but you can certainly use a brush pen to actually print. And you might not realize it, but a lot of people combine both the script and the print to create really interesting quotes. I'd say probably that's the most popular use of the script and the print together. So if I was going to print these alphabet letters, I could print like this. I mean, there's so many different styles. This is a very, very traditional kind of classic style. But the key is I am using the same thickness, thin and thick strokes that I use when I'm brush lettering. So the motion of using the brush pen, you know, is thin up and thick down. And this rule you're going to keep in mind when you are printing as well. So I'm just going to print these letters with the fine liner. This is my Kelly Crates fine liner, and this black pen was my Kelly Crates fine brush tip pen that you can find in this 3-pack, which is an awesome set for beginners, or in my deluxe lettering kit, which is a canvas roll. So let's print the same letters. Actually, I'm going to print with a pencil, just so you can see that this is a practical way to practice your printing. So when we print with a pencil, we intend to go from the top down, but we're not going to do this with a brush pen. We are going to pay attention to the direction of our pen, and we're going to move upwards and downwards and create those oopsies, those thick and thin strokes. All right, so if we look at this brush printing, we can, I can replicate that right here. I have trouble speaking today. Push here, with just this very simple upright alphabet. Pushing down, because I'm going downwards. Push, release, and have a thin stroke. However, I think it is more natural to have a slant and even a curve to some of the letters, and you can be very playful with this. So I'll show you what I mean. Compared to this, we have this A. We can also have almost like a script A, and I can drop my exit stroke, that underturn. I can put this crossbar at a higher point, higher above the midline. Below the midline, I can use an A like this, even as a capital letter. So you can mix things up. But the thing is I am going to utilize the thin upstrokes and the thick downstrokes. So let's play around with the B. Now, instead of keeping this super upright thick downstroke for the main stem of the B, I'm going to just let my natural pen create that bit of a curve. Do you see the difference between the two? I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully you won't see my zoom in on my eczema, which is still pretty bad. So just practice a natural downstroke that's maybe a little bit more curved. And then you can play around with your printed B and either, you know, create a larger first curve or a smaller first curve at the top, that reverse oval there. The C is pretty straightforward, but you can stylize your C a little bit. You can add that curl up there. I'm going to keep that similar curve that's natural, and I can make it rounder, whatever you like. Let's look at the lowercase letters. I'm going to move this down a bit, and I'll just draw my printed A and my B, I'm going to keep that curve, that similar curve. And I don't need that loop at the end. I can just bring it right in like that. And the C, of course, is the same. E, that would be my printed E. I often will make this a lot narrower and taller, just stylistically to have some interest. Oh, I forgot the D. Okay, that's interesting. And the D would have a curve like that. What I like to do the most is actually mix my lowercase and uppercase. And I know I get a lot of backlash about that, but I'm going to show you an example of a couple of worksheets that I made for my Facebook group that have script and print mixed together. Now they're two separate words. Sweater is script, and weather obviously is the print. But if you look in weather, I decided to go with a lowercase t, and then I added a couple of serifs. Like, it's not all exactly, not everything's the same. Not every letter has a serif. So uppercase W with serifs, uppercase E, uppercase A with that swoop, and a serif. And you don't need that swoop. You can just come straight down. And that R has a little jaunty exit stroke like that. So when you were downloading this type of a worksheet, you would, where's my, oops, I'm going to use my orange Dream Pen. You'd print it off onto smooth HP paper, or you could use tracing paper, and then you would just trace on top like that. And follow, again, this is my Dream Pen in Sunset. I didn't follow there. Follow the thick and thin for the script, which most of you are probably interested in. But it's fall, so that's why I'm using this quote, by the way, if you're watching this at another time. Where I live, it's fall. And then instead of writing the next word in the script, I added the print. So I am going to follow the same rule: thick down, thin up, push down, climb up. And my little serifs are just lightly going across there. The E, I'm going to push down, release, and I'm going to come across. So I keep this as kind of one stroke, like a little L. The A, I'm going to go up to the top and push down, release, serif, across. The T, underturn, a nice light curving crossbar. H, push. Now look at this printed H. I have two kind of thick downstrokes instead of just the one, but I also have one of the downstrokes of the H is a lot taller than the other. Just gives it a more whimsical style. And look at the size of each of the letters. Push. The size of the letters is different. I'm alternating kind of large and small, and I'm creating almost a bouncy style of printing. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Here's another example, which I won't walk you through, but you can see this time I did the Hello Autumn, and the autumn is in that kind of bouncy script. And I mixed up, again, my lowercase and uppercase. I put a lowercase t and a lowercase n, which a lot of people don't like, but it's not about what other people like. It's about what you like, right? Okay. So when you are practicing any kind of brush lettering with print and script, you're going to think about, well, what is the design going to look like? And I generally would use my pencil. Let's say I'm going to write the words live large. So live large, I'm going to make, I could write large in script or live in script. So let's try both. Let's say I do live and then large. Or would I like it better as live Oh, that didn't work out. And then large in my script. I actually think I like the script first, but you could, play around with either. Then I would take my brush pen, and I'm using this large brush pen, but why don't we use the small brush pen? Because I can even, go over my pencil lines with this. Remember, I'm using Kelly Creates smooth practice paper, and I love to design on this because I can just jump into my brush pen and continue. I don't have to, switch things up. So I'll just try to do the live large with this. Live large. And how would this work? I'll just play around with how I might draw this. I'm going with that same kind of up and down, not everything is the same height. Yeah, I think that's kind of cute. So then I would practice this and just, make sure I liked what I did. Then I could sketch it onto a larger piece of paper. And let's try it with a large brush pen as well and see what we think. Yeah, and then just, play around with the design like that. And I'm kind of creating a bouncy live here. And I think the other thing you're going to learn about is your spacing. You do want your spacing to work out. I'm going to try a lowercase e here. I actually like the lowercase e. I do this all the time. But if you like the uppercase E, you can definitely go with that. And that's basically how you design with print. It's not as hard as you might think. I really like to mix things up. And the other thing you can do is you can actually, in one letter, mix up your script and print. So I will just show you a quick example of that. Let's just take the word large. So I could do this. I could use a script L, an A like that. I'm going to do an R like this. I could do a G like this and an E like that. And some of you will hate this. And you know what? That's totally okay. But I suggest you kind of push the boundaries of your comfort zone and try some different stylistic options when you have a brush pen in hand and when you're writing a quote especially. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.